Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm Alexandra Clements.
And I'm James Hill. Coming up on Daybreak, it's been a staple in Western PA for many years. Find out what one of Pittsburgh's restaurant chains is doing to add more diversity to their brand.
Plus, having trouble starting your car? Find out what you can do to make it easier for you to get to class when the temperatures drop.
Also, the first artist signed by Pioneer Records joins Alex and I.
Daybreak starts right now.
Good morning, guys. We're happy to have you with us on this wonderful morning here in Pittsburgh.
So the weather lately, I feel like it's been summer and it's 30 degrees. I
mean, when you think about it, negative 10 to even 30, 35, that's a 30, nearly 40-degree difference. You really do feel it. I want to go to Sandcastle. That's how warm I've been feeling. Aaron, I hope we can expect some more warm weather as we make it through the week.
Thanks, you guys. We actually are going to see some warmer weather for the beginning. We're going to start off at the beginning of the week with some precipitation. Monday, we're going to have a high of 36 and a low of 19. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to see it in the mid-40s. So it's getting even better. Thursday and Friday, we're going to see some sun. We're going to have highs of 36 and 31. On Saturday, we're going to see a ton of sun, so that's when you should go to Sandcastle, James, with a high of 40, but still a low of 20. And then on Sunday, the sun's going to go away a little bit, and we're going to have a high of 32 and a low of 20. So it's going back down to freezing, but it could be worse. Okay, back over to James and Alex at the news desk.
Go to the front gates and beg them to open Sandcastle. They'll do it for us.
There's probably snow on the slides.
That's true. You know, Alex, the cold temperatures, they can also really mess with your car and make it impossible to get anywhere. It's not all bad.
That's right, James. And Daybreak reporter Tyler Jeske has a story on how you can make sure that your car stays running during the winter.
The sound of your car starting is something that many of us take for granted. But when the weather gets cold out like it has been, it can have many negative effects on your car. The trouble could start even before you pull out onto the icy road.
You got a lot of issues with battery related. Batteries are dead because of the cold weather, and you got a lot of starting issues. Cars don't want to start due to maybe starters or alternators going bad.
Evan Riggis has owned his auto shop for 5 years, and during the cold weather, that is when he sees his business spike every year.
Exactly, a lot of business during this cold weather.
And it's not just Evan who experiences an increase in business. During the months of January and February, AAA has responded to over 120,000 calls, with most of them being about battery troubles.
We want to check maintenance before the weather turns cold. We can check the battery and check the alternator for free and let you know how things look.
And all it takes is starting your car just once a day to alleviate some of the negative effects that the cold has. Reporting for Point News, I'm Tyler Jeske.
Point Park and the Conservatory of Performing Arts announced last week that Ron Tassone, a professor of dance, passed away. University President Paul Hennigan said, "Ron was beloved by students and faculty. He brought tremendous joy to his students and the university, and our world is less rich with his absence." Tassone established the jazz major within the Point Park dance program and assumed the role of director of dance for 10 years. He choreographed more than 25 jazz dance works at the Pittsburgh Playhouse. He's also very well known in the professional dance world for his numerous performances in Broadway shows and television, and for his choreography in many well-known musicals.
And the rugby club on campus is not happy with the respect they've been receiving from faculty. The club, which works on and off the field to support community spirit at Point Park, has run into a lot of setbacks. Last year, the club won the Outstanding Student Organization Award, but by being recognized as a club sport and not as a university-sponsored organization. They struggle with coaching, new gear, and many other obstacles without a coach. All of the responsibilities fall on President Alden Roth and Captain Troy Johnston to do that. While the club greatly appreciates all the school has done for them, they believe the hard work and volunteering they do should be rewarded.
Point Park is offering its first ever doctorate program in leadership and administration, and currently there are 35 students enrolled in the program. Darlene Marnick, chair of the education department and the author of the doctoral program, worked for over a year to develop the program. The program can be completed in 3 years and includes a 54-credit course of study. Students can choose from 3 different concentrations, including professional leadership, K-12 administration, and an individualized concentration designed by the candidate. Point Park is hoping to offer even more doctoral programs for students very soon. James, the new Congress put their bill onto the president's desk.
Yeah, and it looks like this is going to lead to even more tension between the two parties. With more on that story and everything else going on in the country, here's Blaine King.
Thanks, James and Alex. Yes, this did cause tension. President Barack Obama used his veto powers for the first time in almost 5 years on Tuesday, February 24th. The president vetoed the Keystone XL pipeline bill that would have connected a 1,179-mile tar sand crude oil pipeline from Alberta, Canada, to an existing pipeline in Nebraska. Had the bill passed, it would have allowed energy company TransCanada to pump 830,000 barrels of crude oil a day to refineries in the Midwest and the Gulf Coast. A veto override vote is scheduled for March 3rd, but is unlikely to pass because the expected margin falls short of the 2/3 majority vote needed to overturn the president's veto. On Wednesday, February 25th, FBI agents stopped 3 men from joining ISIS. All 3 men lived in Brooklyn and had ambitious plans. They claimed if they were not able to join ISIS in Syria, they would have done other things like hijack an airplane and give it to ISIS, shoot and kill police officers, and even attempt to assassinate the president. One of the 3 men even said he would join the army and spy on the United States or even shoot as many soldiers as possible. 2 of the men were trying to embark to Turkey but were caught before they could do so. The 3 men have been charged and detained. And lastly, in national news this week, the Federal Communication Commission has passed a measure to tighten their control over the internet. On Thursday, the FCC passed a new rule called net neutrality, which allows an equal opportunity for all internet users to access all websites and have better internet speeds. The rule stops cable network giants such as Verizon and Comcast from blocking certain websites. It also stops them from creating an internet fast line for few tech companies who can afford the service. The net neutrality rules are far from official yet, though the rules are not expected to be applied until the summer, and cable companies are able to fight the ruling by taking the FCC to court. That's what's going around in the nation and the world. Now I'm going to send it back to James and Alex at the couch.
Wow, Alex, there's a lot going on in Washington this week. Thanks, Blaine, for that report.
That's right, James. Coming up on Daybreak, she is the first artist to be signed by the university record label Pioneer Records. Hannah Jenkins joins James and I in the studio.
Plus, new features are coming to the local ball field. Find out which one they are and when they're scheduled to arrive when Daybreak returns.
Start your morning with City News.
Start your morning with campus news.
Start your morning with political coverage.
Start your morning with fun.
Start your morning with us, only on Daybreak.
Did you know that Point Park has a cheerleading squad?
Don't stop. Don't get it confused.
Not only do our cheerleaders represent Point Park at regional and national competitions, but they also promote spirit and awareness of every sports team on campus. Come to any men's or women's varsity basketball game at home to watch the cheerleaders perform at halftime and cheer from the sidelines from the first jump ball to the final buzzer. Sports not your thing? You can catch the cheer team lead the crowd at the fall and spring pep rallies as well, or at several competitions around Pittsburgh each year. So what are you waiting for? Show the Point Park cheerleaders the support they show you.
We know you're wondering what the A-list celebrities are up to. Well, here at Entertainment on Point, we're wondering too.
Have you heard about James Franco and Seth Rogen's new movie?
No, but have you heard Beyonce's new single?
Did you see what she was wearing on that red carpet?
Honey, that was not cute.
Did you see what happened on Scandal this week?
No, I was too busy keeping up with the Kardashians.
No matter what your guilty pleasure is, we've got you covered.
Entertainment on Point.
Get to the point of pop culture.
Yeah!
Welcome back to Daybreak. Today we are joined by Hannah Jenkins, a Point Park musician and the first artist to be signed by Pioneer Records.
Hannah, first of all, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I gotta ask, how long have you been writing music and what really got you started?
Well, I've been singing for as long as I can remember. I picked up guitar in high school, mostly to accompany myself singing-wise, and I've always wrote songs, but they almost turned out just to be like poems, you know, because I was really just a singer. And so then playing guitar, I kind of put two and two together and just found this love for songwriting. And I completed my first song, I'd say about 11th grade. and it was just like the best and most rewarding feeling, and I was like, I have to keep doing this, and it's just the best thing. I love it so much.
Well, we're glad that you did. Have you ever been in a band, or are you more on your own?
No, I've just sang on my own. Very recently, actually, in the studio, they brought in studio musicians. That was my first time ever playing or singing with other band members, so that was a really cool experience, but it's always just been me being solo, singing on my own.
I mean, I gotta ask, you mentioned the studio. You are here because you won a contest to be a part of Pioneer Records. What was that contest about?
Well, I got an email one day saying that Point Park was starting a new record label called Pioneer Records, and they were looking for their first signed artist. So I had to submit 3 of my songs to Ed Traviseri, who is head of the entertainment department in my major, Sports Arts Entertainment Management. And so I was like, why not, you know, nothing to lose. So I submitted 3 of my songs, and then about a month later, I heard back from him saying that I was one of the 3 finalists, and to get in touch with Jesse Noss, who is the owner of Red Cayman Media, the studio that it's out of. And so I made an appointment and went and met with him, and he just walked me through the studio and said, like, if I were to win, like, what kind of things I would be doing and like what it would really entail. And then about a week after that, I found out that I won. So yeah, it was really exciting.
That must have been a great feeling. With the contest, what exactly do you get to do?
Since I won, I get to record an EP professionally in the studio, a 3-song EP. And when it's all said and done, I get 300 copies of the CD to do whatever I please with. And then I also get a CD release party, which we're hoping it'll be in Village Park the 2nd week of April. We're still trying to determine the definite date of that, but yeah, so it's crazy. It's really awesome.
That's wonderful. I gotta wonder though, you know, going from, you know, recording songs and, you know, being at home and singing them, what was it like to be in like a professional studio? It
was amazing. I had never been to a recording studio prior to this all happening, so like I walk in and I'm like, this is the coolest place I've ever been, easily. I'm like, this beats recording on my computer with GarageBand, you know. And yeah, it just sounded amazing, and it was so much fun. And after I recorded my first song, we just ran through like a bunch of my songs when one of the first times I went to the studio, and Jesse was like, was that your first time ever recording in a studio? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, how good did that feel? And I was like, words can't even describe. Like, it was just the best feeling.
So what do you think you're going to do after this label and after your EP comes out?
Well, after it's all said and done, since I will have this professional CD made, I can start kind of, a lot of places like Altar Bar or Hard Rock Cafe, like smaller venues in Pittsburgh like that, they're always looking for opening acts. So I think I'd really love to like get into performing more around the city, and when I have this professional CD, I can submit it, and when like they need opening acts and stuff, and I'm going to try to like start gigging around the city and just doing what I can to perform, because music's the ultimate dream. But obviously, if I'm not the one singing, I want to be around the music and helping other people produce their music and that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm studying entertainment management, so I can always be around the music, even if I'm not the one producing it and being the artist.
It's so wonderful that you're still willing to be in the industry, even if it's not necessarily you. I mean, that's a selflessness you don't really get from a lot of artists these days. You mentioned that it's going to be coming up in Village Park. Is there like any time frame set for that, or when can we look forward to, like, because I want to see.
Of course, everyone's invited. I'm sure they'll email blast everybody or whatever, but we're aiming for between April 15th to 17th, like that week. Yeah, I'm not really, we're still like working out the details of that, weather-wise, you know.
In Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh, yeah, it's always unpredictable, so as long as the weather keeps, we'll have it in Village Park. If not, it'll probably be in the Lawrence Hall Ballroom. And yeah, I'll perform, and I'm sure there'll be food and whatever else people can probably purchase my CD. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. So what are the songs, how did you pick the songs for your CD? Was that a hard choice?
It wasn't too difficult. One of the first times I went to the studio, I sat down and I went through, I had about 8 songs that were like finished and ready to go. So I sang through all those songs, and Jesse kind of listened. We like recorded them and we listened back to them and figured out like which ones would sound the best on the CD together. And so the 3 we chose were Something on Nothing, a song called I Deserve Better Than That, and a song called Gray. And they all kind of have the same kind of idea about kind of, I guess, like love and relationships, and I'm a 20-year-old girl, like that's the easiest thing to write about, you know, so kind of like they all kind of like fit together.
That's great. I mean, I know I'm excited to hear this. We're going to listen to our song, Something Out of Nothing, a little bit later in the show. Right. I'm really excited for that.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us and talking to us about your contest. I think that's a great thing that happened. So thank you so much, and don't turn away. Coming up on Daybreak, Hannah will be back to perform her single, Something Out of Nothing.
And the local restaurant that is adding the culinary scene of downtown Pittsburgh, coming up after the break.
Here at the Pioneer Sideline, we get freshmen involved as quickly as possible so they get the real-world experience on air and behind the scenes to set themselves apart in internships and potential jobs. Blaine, where is that video? I needed it in KeyPro like yesterday.
All right, I got you, Chris. But I had a quick question for you guys.
What do you mean the questions? It's always a question. It's always a... What? Where is he? Blaine. 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 Freshman, you can't find any good ones anymore.
Developers from across the state and the Pittsburgh area are prepping for their wish list for the 2015 Pennsylvania Redevelopment Capital Assistance Program. Now, developers across the Commonwealth submit requests for state aid and redevelopment plans. 57 projects in Allegheny County are seeking more than $235 million in assistance. Some of the projects include the redevelopment of the Southside Riverfront property, an expansion of the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium, renovations at PPG Place as well. And Oxford Development is trying to build a new 30-story office tower on Smithfield Street, as well as the redevelopment of the unused upper floors of the downtown Pittsburgh Macy's. No date has yet been set for the awarding of the 2015 bids.
Pittsburgh police arrested a man Wednesday who crashed his SUV into a car on Fort Pitt Boulevard before fleeing police. The crash happened at about 3:15 p.m. at the intersection of Fort Pitt Boulevard and Wood Street towards the end of Point Park's campus. Police say they caught 23-year-old Northside resident Davon Davis near First Avenue and Market Street. Davis was wanted for previous firearm violations. At least 5 people were hurt in the incident. They are all taken to the local hospitals and are expected to survive.
Continuing with capital improvements in the city, the Pittsburgh Pirates are making the largest changes to PNC Park since its 2001 construction. The plans include adding 2 bars, a preserved outdoor patio, more standing room beyond left field bleachers, and meeting and event space in the park administration areas, as well as walk-through metal detectors that will be placed at the gates. The Pirates didn't provide project costs, only saying it would be a multi-million-dollar project. PNC Park, it cost $216 million when it replaced the Pirates and Steelers' long-shared home, Old Three River Stadium. Last year, the team set a record with 2.4 million people attending games. The Pirates, they hope to have this work done for this coming season.
James, you know what one of my favorite restaurants in Pittsburgh is?
Wendy's.
No. Eaton Park.
Oh, God. I couldn't count the millions of late nights you've spent eating Smiley cookies and milkshakes.
I've gone there since I was a kid.
But did you know that the company has many other spin-off restaurants in the area as well? Daybreak reporter Hillary Maglin has the story.
Eaton Park restaurants are a staple here in Western Pennsylvania. Loyal customers come for the milkshakes and the Smiley cookies. But now, one of Pittsburgh's most famous chains is branching out into spin-off restaurants, opening new eateries for whatever mood you're in. The Eaton Park brand is one of the local pioneers of spin-off restaurants, small restaurants owned by a larger chain that serve the same quality food, but with a twist. Hello Bistro, The Porch in Oakland, and Six Pen Kitchen in Pittsburgh's Cultural District are all new spin-offs of Eaton Park.
The Porch is an amazing place. It's built into the park. It's a great place to hang out and on a summer night and drink a glass of wine, have a great meal outside. Six Pen Kitchen's great for the Cultural District, and Hello Bistro has been really popular for people who are looking for a great lunch.
Hello Bistro has been popular among college students since its launch in 2012, as common locations are near Pittsburgh universities like Pitt and Point Park. While Six Pen Kitchen draws in theater goers from Cultural District venues like Heinz Hall, right across the street. Eaton Park's goal for their spin-off restaurants is to open the perfect eatery for any occasion, whether it's a quick healthy lunch or a high-end dinner with friends.
I had no idea that the Porch was owned by Eaton Park. I think it's a really smart idea that they're opening places such as the Porch and Hello Bistro.
I never knew that Eaton Park was owned this place. I always thought it was a local place because I mean it seems so fancy.
Thanks to the success of the current spin-offs, Eaton Park plans to add one more chain to the family.
So we're franchising a concept called Delicious Raw, and it's a juice and smoothie concept. So it's all natural vegetables and fruit made into juices and smoothies.
Customers can find the first Delicious Raw location right next to Hello Bistro on Wood Street downtown later this year. Reporting for Point News, I'm Hillary Maglin.
Alex, the Penguins are getting ready to make a push for the playoffs.
Yes, they are, James. And Trevor Sheets is here with your morning sports report. Trevor?
Thanks, guys. Let's start on the ice, where the Pittsburgh Penguins extended their winning streak to 3 games last Wednesday when they defeated the Washington Capitals by a score of 4-3. The game saw the return of defenseman Christian Ehrhoff, who had been out the previous 12 games with a concussion that he suffered in a game January 28th. The game was against the Washington Capitals as well. With the win, the Pens are 5th in the Eastern Conference with 79 points, 4 points behind first-place Montreal. Prior to the game, the Pens traded fourth-line winger Zach Sill and 2 draft picks to the Toronto Maple Leafs for forward Daniel Winnick. Winnick is expected to play on the third line and be a factor on the penalty kill. Staying local, the Pitt Panthers are slowly working their way into the conversation for an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. This past week, the Panthers hosted Boston College at the Peterson Event Center and won the game 71-65 behind 24 points from forward Jamel Artis. Going into the weekend, the Panthers were in the first 4 out, according to bracketology experts. But with a manageable schedule to finish the season, the Panthers hope to position themselves for a deep run in the ACC tournament. Lastly, rumors abound that the 2022 World Cup that had been awarded to the small Middle Eastern country of Qatar will be played in the winter instead of the summer when the World Cup is typically held. This is due to temperatures that can get up to 140 degrees during the summer, making FIFA officials fear for the safety of both players and fans who plan to attend the matches. The plan as it currently stands would have the tournament start in mid-November and finish right before Christmas. That's all I have for sports this week. Now Alexis Adams is here with your update on what's going on in the entertainment world.
Thanks, Trevor. One word. Oscars! The 87th Academy Award has come and gone, and every second was a second to remember. From the fashion to the awards, the performances, and my favorite moment, Common and John Legend. Can we please take a moment silent for these handsome men? Thank you. Common and John Legend won an award for the Best Original Song entitled Glory, which was featured in the movie Selma, giving a powerful acceptance speech and leaving us with much to think about. They were truly an inspiring duo that evening, and even gave pearls of wisdom in their press meeting. Many great things were said, but one that stuck with me was given by John Legend. When asked about the impact of the film and the song, he said, quote, "I think all of this is helping us to think about how we interact with each other, how to live with the spirit of love and not a spirit of fear. Hopefully we take those lessons and continue to learn from each other, recognize each other's humanity, and try to strive toward a love that is public." Dr. Cornel West said, "Loving in public is what is justice, and we're focused on justice because that's what it means to love people you don't even know and fight for their rights and see value in their lives," end quote. Well put, Mr. Legend. But world stop. Lady Gaga's performance was No meat dress, no crazy shoes, but her powerful voice grabbed the attention of everyone that evening. And she gave us Broadway as she sang The Sound of Music. And in my mind, she was saying, "Oh, did you forget I could really sing? Well, here you go." Yes, Gaga, I hope this is not the last time you exercise your talent in that nature. Okay, guys, bear with me as we take a trip from classy to ratchet. Janelle Evans, Teen Mom Celebrity, was arrested. Again. She spent a routine Tuesday evening in jail for driving without a license. Janelle is no stranger to jail. I'm pretty sure she has a frequent cellmate card. Defending her on Twitter was one of her friends. She tweeted that she was only arrested for an old ticket. Yeah, sure, as if this is her first go-around. Okay, guys, now we have to take a step back into our own lives and focus on reality. I'm going to send it back over to Alex and James.
Alexis, your reports are truly the highlights of the morning. Coming up on Daybreak, Hannah Jenkins, she's going to come back to the studio.
She will be performing here in the studio when Daybreak returns.
Every human being has a purpose, has a dream to have their voices heard, no matter where they come from, no matter where they go. As an American, it is their right to have freedom of speech. I have a dream that one day this message will speak louder than words, that even the quietest voice will not go unnoticed. That is my dream. What is yours? For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Hannah Jenkins is back with us. Thank you for joining us.
And today she's going to be performing an original piece titled Something Out of Nothing. Hannah, take it away.
I'm not at all hard to please. Go with the flow, I'm just being me. That's all I can be. But at the end of the day, I wish someone would stay. Being alone's okay, but it gets old. Yeah. Somebody look at me, tell me, what do you see? Happy girl with a hidden heartache. Don't misunderstand, I like the way I am, but I've been lonely for far too long. So send me some of that love. I can't help but wonder what it would be like if we liked each other. I won't wait forever, but I'll wait today. Come on, boy, what do you say? Let's make something out of nothing. Something out of nothing. Something out of nothing. It's not hard when you're out on the town, but it's hard to find someone worth keeping around. Disappointment around every bed. How will I know it won't happen again? I need to let my guard down. Somebody look at me, tell me, what do you see? Happy girl with a hidden heartache. Don't misunderstand, I like the way I am, but I've been lonely for far too long. So send me some of that love. I can't help but wonder what it would be like if we liked each other. I won't wait forever, but I'll wait today. Come on, boy, what do you say? Let's make something out of nothing. Something out of nothing. Something out of nothing. Something out of nothing. And I want you to know I'm just a big heart trapped in a lonely soul. Open your arms to me, show me love. Somebody look at me, tell me, what do you see? Happy girl with a hidden heartache. Don't misunderstand, I like the way I am, but I've been lonely for far too long.
That was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Yes,
You've
I
a lot
loved
of
it.
performances so far, and that's actually one of my favorite we've had thus far. It was a wonderful time.
I did really like it. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah,
and thank you
for
guys.
watching us.
Thanks for watching us. Don't forget to come back next week and start your morning with us.